the brawl, we got a Glow Auto. Oh man, this could be big. Glow Auto coming 180 power. Call it 180 Glow Auto here. Who you got? Who you got on the 180 Glow Auto?
The morning light is rising.
I want to burn a Troy Youth. It is Coffee 24-25. David Ortiz. Nasty.
And Anthony brings the heat.
Ripping it. All right, man. I'm excited for this, guys. I'm excited for this right now. We got King Tut 175, Pink X 101. Congratulations to the 175. We said it was in the sweet spot, guys.
They blow the hits, they chase the dreams, and they stand unshaken.
That's a great one. I gotta give you a banger for little Mr. October. He's the Yankee. Look at this pumpkin. Get that pumpkin out of the park. Reggie Jackson started. What a card. That's a cup full. Beautiful.
Always beats the clock, breaking down the news like it's second nature. Talking about one help. Cypher shakes his head. Already time.
Oh my God.
Are we? Hold it up again.
Let's go, baby.
Bernie Williams.
All right. Hey, good morning, Tex Hooper.
Good morning, Snappy White, and good morning, Bo. This is our show now. Snappy,
Hold on.
Your lighting today is very
say that one more
interesting.
time. When did you say the name of the show was?
Good morning, Bo.
Tex Hooper. The show, right?
Breakers.
Don't push it. Yes, the lighting is. I actually have my lighting on me, but the sun is literally so bright today.
Yeah.
And I'm at my creeper cave, so.
And it's nice to see you're showing off your collection of unripped boba.
No. That behind me, that's ripped. Actually, I'm doing the opposite.
Those are all empty boxes?
Yeah, they're empty boxes. I was like, you want to know, there's the high school here. It was interesting on Aquidneck Island, Newport, Rhode Island High School. They just built a new one. And it's somebody in the administrative office had a genius idea. They said, listen, the contractors gave us an estimate for hauling away all the crap inside the old building that we're not bringing over because it's just crap. So let's do this. Let's tell the community we're going to have a tag sale. And come in on this day and you can tag whatever you want and that's yours to take away. And you get to come back at that afternoon and take it away. And it sounds like you're doing something great for the community. But what they're doing is obviously the more tonnage the contractor hauls away, the more they pay. So do it. So anyway, I wandered around the school like, oh my God, the people pulling the like the grease type phone intercom speakers, which were still in this high school. And this dude had like 6. He's like, I'm going to put them in my man cave. And I'm like, maybe 1, but like, do you really need 6? But anyway, there was this cork board. I was like, yeah, I got 3 kids. They're always doing projects. And so I had it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take my empty boxes and just start stapling them. So I think I'm going to take the one of one out of, and I'll sign that too, like a special memento when I stick that up on that.
So let's talk about the 101. It was, we were doing the show Monday.
Wait, hold on. Before we do that,
you want to bring everybody in?
I do want to bring everybody in. But the one thing I want to say before we bring our panel up, Tex, is that and by the way, we want to thank our sponsor, Pat's Blue Ribbon. Of course, Tex talking to the person off stage, and that's the PBR rep saying, listen, if we're going to sponsor the show, you got to mention us at least once or twice. So I want to say, Tex, that when we were talking about the show today, I was saying to the panel, I said, listen, talk about what you guys have ripped this past week. Give me something you added to your PC. And let's see, The first person I said, give me something you added to your PC. So we're talking one item. Like when I said to guys, I'm like, listen, I know we all love talking about price, nobody more than me, but Cursive's first response was this. So today we're gonna have a 15-hour.
He's trying to jam it in my face. Look at those two Bayheims he's got up there.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a 15-hour show just to go over what Cursive had this past week. But no, that's not all. So that was one. And then you had Eric, who Mr. Hop is
Eric went on a bit of a shopping spree.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's like, I mean, not to be outdone by Anthony. Look at this. And then you can say, okay, well, that was Eric and that was Cursive. And you're like, all right, well, there's going to be some sanity. So like Seth, Maine traditional New Englander is like, that's going to be fine, right? So
Flinty New Englander.
Yep. And so this is what he gave me. Let me go through it quick. So I don't know. I said, guys, what did you pick up this past week? So imagine, guys, we're not done. Imagine we went through everything Cursive, Lungta, and Eric wanted us to go through. We would be here for a week, Tex, going through that.
We would. That's a lot of stuff. And here's everybody. Eric, welcome, Anthony.
Know what we picked up.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
right.
That's every day, boys.
5 days worth.
Live on eBay.
I know. These are the guys I'm always fighting to get the stuff that pops up fast
Sniping.
before they can grab it. But Slappy, before we get into these guys, let's talk about the one of one you pulled. You pulled the super auto of Bernie Williams. Burn, baby, burn. And was that on the second pack out of that box?
It was. Yep.
And didn't the other one of one you hit, wasn't that out of like the second pack out of a box?
No, that was a better one. Is that I had told my son, like there were this was alpha and there were several jumbos. And I was saying to my son, which one should we rip? And he picked this one. And we were going through it. It was really not that great. And we were on like pack 48. And I was like, you picked the wrong one. You have bad juju. And so then the next pack he rips is the Joe Theismann super auto. And that I hit out of the alpha. That was second to last. This was second in.
Didn't you hit a one of one at the shattering?
Oh, no, yeah. But that's Wonders of the First. And that was the very
Well,
first
I
pack.
know, but I'm just saying that was also on, that was pack number 1.
Yeah, that was pack number 1. So what's really hard is, for me, the chase are things like these one of one. So what's really hard is it's very, by the way, I'm glad I could put this up. Like I was explaining to folks when I ripped it, that excitement that you saw on camera was, first of all, Anthony could take a lesson. That's what excitement looks like, Anthony. I love that your clip at the beginning when you ripped a one of one. And I'm like, wait, I'm like, does he know it's a one of one? Because he said the words, but I don't see the excitement. Like, well, for Anthony, actually, that's not true. That was a level up for Anthony. But I've explained it to a couple of people in DM is that, when I rip my packs, right, I'm just hoping for that banger. Like I've hit a super auto, but I really, it's so greedy. I want a 200. I want a power 190. I want to know what that feels like to rip it. So every time
what power was that card? I don't even remember.
170. 170.
Oh, okay.
It's
still nice.
Yep. Yeah. A lot better than
I'll take it if you don't want it.
But when you're ripping your packs, you're always like hoping. And so at the end of this show, like, by the way, the original title that I put it on YouTube short was Worst Pack Rip Technique Ever, Best Outcome, because that was not meant for pack ripping. This was the end of the show. I've been busy. I didn't have time to do the official outro. So Jen and Tex are dancing to the song, and I'm not as good a dancer as them. So I'm like, what can I do? And I'm like, well, crap, I'll just start ripping packs. So I'm trying to find like the camera angle, like worst camera angle ever to hit that. But the excitement, I wasn't thinking about what I was going to hit. I just thought, how can I block my face while these guys are dancing so it fills the time and people don't click off? So when I saw it, I literally wasn't even looking at the cards really. I mean, that's why my big, hand was across that super auto. And the first wave of excitement was hitting the super. The second wave of excitement was knowing it was Bernie Williams. And I'm not only a Yankee fan, it's like, if you're a Yankee fan, he is truly one of the classiest, most elegant people in the world. I mean, the man plays classical guitar, for heaven's sakes. Like, the man never says a bad word. He never had any controversy. I don't even think he's used profanity in his life, where Tex Hooper uses 10 of them before he wakes up. He says it in his sleep.
Did you notice that you only bleeped out one of my swear words in your little clip there?
Did I miss another one?
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, I was running late today.
All right, so
Mega.
that was out of a double mega. Yeah. And
Wow.
again, you didn't rip the rest of the packs?
No, I'm gonna save him for another time when I have to start ripping.
What is
stuff
it? You have boxes upon boxes, and you're just saving all of it. You gotta start ripping, man.
Hey, a real shout out. Julio says, appreciate you guys are all awesome. Thanks for the awesome content. Quick is calling out Simo. Simo is calling out Seth. Oh, wrong S word. Why doesn't Seth have a hat on? He had to be different from the rest of the panel.
You guys didn't let me know.
We could take it off.
You didn't get the memo? You didn't get the hat memo? Yeah. Well, maybe next week.
And then Big Rob, good morning to him. He's saying, pretty sure Slappy is homeless and lives in a makeshift shelter made of boba boxes. Hey, a quick note, as Josh Allen, controversial press conference yesterday, we know him as Bison in the set, is that he came out and he took responsibility for the loss and put it on his 29-year-old shoulders. So a lot of people said, hey, that's what a quarterback does. Then he turned around and said, we would have beat the Patriots if we had faced them. So I told my son that last night before he went into his high school here in Rhode Island. And I'm like, just so you know, you're going to get a lot of crap from the Pats fans because they're in the Super Bowl and your guy isn't. And this is what he just said. But I want to shout out to Caliber, who just donated $2 million of recent sponsorship money for homeless shelters in his home city of Chicago. And I don't think a PR person wrote this. He said, I know people, I know what it's like to be that cold living on the street, and nobody should have to do it. So it's going to go to permanent, like housing for not just temporary, but permanent housing for transition. But $2 million, Caliber putting it in and doing it at a time of year when people are cold and homeless. So what a great guy. What a great person to have in the Bo Jackson Battle Arena set. And can't wait to see him just, can't wait to rip that first auto of that guy. And then we've got Justin also chiming in, and he says, take this snow away. It's like the Terminator. It won't die. I'm fixing to get my flamethrower out. So I just want to point out the inaccuracy here. If it truly was the Terminator, we all know that a flamethrower was not going to stop the T3. So that's wrong, Justin. Just FYI. All right.
So I want to know where in the country Justin is.
Great story of Caliber, right? Great transition
Yeah.
from Scott to transition from a comment of him being homeless to a story about someone helping homeless. For
He's
sure.
the master of the segue, if nothing else.
It was really good.
So you guys all supplied us with your acquisitions for the week. Some for your PC, some I'm assuming you'll put into single shows or whatever. Eric, let's start with you. Out of the cards you picked up this week, do you have a couple favorites? Do you have a couple highlights?
Well,
that one is
That
Wow.
one is
there.
Tex, because we
That's
don't have time,
nice.
we're going to do one each.
oh
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the Cheryl
Baum's
Baum.
been one of my big chases out of the Griffey set. I'm a huge WNBA fan, so always been a fan of the Millers. I like Reggie. I like Cheryl too. I watch a lot of their content, but the artwork on the Cheryl Baum card, fantastic. I'm a big sucker for the Fire Coliseums. It's almost like a tiger stripe down below at the bottom, which I'm a big fan of those cards from Panini too, if you're familiar with the select tiger stripes. But it's, beautiful color match, 175 power card. I got a pretty good price on that off of eBay, and so couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing card. What did you think of were you able to catch Frenchie's interview with Cheryl Miller the other night?
Yeah, that was great. Exactly what I expected from those two. Very great conversation. Super humble. Cheryl Miller, one of those athletes that maybe was a little, when she played, a little cocky on the court, but she backed it up. But then in person, just the nicest, most down-to-earth, humble person. I thought everything that they talked about was great to hear. I love hearing the stories. It's unfortunate we never got to see her play in a pro league, a pro women's league, because she would have absolutely dominated. But yeah, big fan of the content. I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, and it'll be great to see her back out at the National again this year. And sounds like she's going to be hanging out at the booth, and maybe even Frenchie's trying to get her on a team to play a little bob in the championship.
I'd love to have her on my team.
Yeah, that'd be. I think everybody would like her on their team, especially she'll probably be coming in with a pretty good deck too. I would imagine. So that'll help.
Tex, I would love to get her on the show because the questions Frenchie can't ask because he has a business relationship with her. But I'd like to ask is, I'm always curious about all these athletes who do it. Are some of them just, baseball players are notorious for being the cheapest people. Like the Yankee announcers, I know Seth is a big fan, and John Sterling and Michael Kay, when they were a radio combo, used to talk about the fact that, not a single ball player would ever buy a drink for anyone else. They get their $200 daily per diem and they're saving it. They're not trying to spend it. So on the one hand, there's sometimes that, it's never enough money. So any chance you can make money. But I'm curious, all Cheryl's motivations for this is it clearly is more than the money. Like when you saw her at National, I'm not going to say who it. There are a couple of people, they were getting paid to be there. And they did a great job. Cheryl was so warm and just going around talking to anyone. Dennis Eckersley was telling stories, and Carlton Fisk, his handler, his 25-year-old handler, was like, we got to go. And Carlton Fisk did not want to leave. But I'd love to hear, what do you think, Eric? Why do you think Cheryl is in this? Do you think it's because it's Bo Jackson and she's like, I'd love to be part of the Bo collection? Or what do you think motivates her?
That's a good question. I'd love to hear that answer too. My opinion would be that it just is fun. I think it's a fun project for her. I think the passion you could see is there. She seemed to enjoy the cards, the game. She's a competitor too. And, if this is a game and people are competing for money, which at the National, there's some big money on the line, I think she gets into that energy. And she really is she's a competitor at heart. And so I think when there's a competition like that, she gets super into it and makes her really want to be a part of it.
I think it helps keeps her involved in the sport too, and kind of keeps her, in the present, as far as what's going on in the sport and what's going on in the collecting world. Because like Frenchie talked about, she's signing in other products too, not just boba. So, it helps her get out. And I think it helps her spread her own message. It gets her a little more in the spotlight and stuff. And she's able to maybe promote herself or promote stuff that's near and dear to her. So I think, that might be part of the reason she does it too.
Awesome. Tex, we've got Seth's card up if you want to bring that up now.
Let's see. Oh, what?
Boom.
Oh, that thing's amazing.
Thanks.
Well, tell us about it.
This I actually picked up probably a month ago, but it just arrived yesterday. So that's why I included it.
Okay.
eBay purchase. I got it. I thought pretty cheap. I think I paid all in $560, and then I elected to send it right to grading, and came back in time. I'm happy. That's PC. It's beautiful.
Now, did you send it to PSA through eBay? Right through eBay?
Right through eBay. So, it had a lot of pictures, and, you can't always tell the back, especially if there's some light creasing or scratches. But I took a shot, and it was going to be for me, my PC. So actually, I PC a lot of 9s anyway, because I think they're affordable and they look cool. So I don't always need a 10 to enjoy the card. That's my perspective. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
Do you think the disparity between PSA 9s and PSA 10s will ever, tighten up? Do you think that'll ever get better?
So I think just collectibles in general, people love pristine condition, and that's we see that. I'm not really a collector outside of boba or cards, but that's just a common theme we see among all collectibles. So, and I also think that 9s will gain value just because what we're seeing now is 10s more recently have been harder to get. So, and that's just an opinion, and we'll see if I'm right in the future. But yeah, over time, I think they'll rise. They'll rise again.
Okay. And you still are you confident in PSA's grades as much as no?
No,
You're not as confident as
well,
you
I
were
don't
in the
want to make
past?
this. I hate PSA. I don't hate PSA. What we all, and I'm not the first person to talk about this. It's the inconsistencies that I have a hard time with. So I've shifted to start using tag more, even though I know based on my experience, tag is a tougher grade. Yeah, and that's just where
But
I am.
Isn't that? I mean, if you're doing this to have these cards graded, to have them, preserved, don't you want a tough grade? Don't you want somebody that's going to grade these things tough and
That's a
grade
fair
these things
point.
as accurately as possible?
That's a really good point. Yes, and if you're only looking to add value and to sell it at some point down the road, you're going to go easy 10.
Mhm.
And I did that for a good part of a year.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, it's a discussion for another day. We'll get into grading another day.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing card. And is there anything else you have your eye on? Something that you got your eye on for this week?
Well, I've been picking up a lot of low-powered great grandma's linoleum and grandma's linoleum because that play style looks really fun. I want to play that, so I'm trying to get that part of the deck.
Okay.
And yeah, it just I'm not I'm competitive, but that one just seems a little bit more relaxed and fun. I'm still going to compete and have a great time, but yeah.
So you're not just buying up all the 190s.
I am not buying all the 190s. I need
right.
one more 190 for my deck, so I'm on the
Excellent.
lookout for that.
Nice.
Very good. Well, it's a beautiful card.
Thank you.
Slappy, do you have cursives? Oh, and here we are. Oh, picked up an old school tank.
Now, wait. I
The
have to
Alpha.
say that it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, you're right. It says Bo said so on it. Oh,
I
it's
have
the
to tell
update.
you, Tex, when I first was adding this, I was like, how can I crop the tank out? Because I didn't look at the power number quick. And I'm so used to the old tank being so
Mhm.
low power. I'm like, why would Anthony share this? I'm like, and then I was like, oh wow, that's why he's sharing it. I forget it's the new tank.
You know what would have been? I just thought about it. If they would have, for the new tank, they should have beefed him up a little more even. Like maybe made him, pressing the boundaries of the card frame. But anyway, Anthony, tell us about these cards.
Yeah, so with the announcement that SCG Milwaukee is going to have Madness as the first time we're going to see Madness outside of National, outside of having a entry ticket, me and the Cursive clan, the whole family will be out there, and we're going to put the little ones in the Madness tournament with me and Lady Cursive. So needed a couple bigger end cards, needed an additional color, and then we have obviously there's a ton of Grillins in this new set, so we needed a big Grillin to go along with that. And so these two will be going into some Madness decks and hopefully find the way to be getting flipped over here at the end of next month and win us some games.
That'll be great. That'll be great. So, how is your deck complete now, or are you still working on your deck?
So we have 2 complete decks. I'm going to have to throw together 2 more. The Madness decks aren't as easy to put together because they're technically up to 70 cards and they need the foils. So there may be 2 decks that aren't as heavy loaded, but I'll probably end up letting the boys play with the better decks, and then I'll take the worst one out of the 4 and just play in the cleanup spot there. So should be good though. Should be a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see a ton of teams go to that one. Hopefully we do. Hopefully there's a good turnout for the Madness at SCG Milwaukee.
Nice. Now, what are your feelings on the Grillin' and Chillin' cards? I really like those inserts. I think they're pretty cool, especially this cruise control here is amazing.
So
But-
one I really
Yeah, what
want
do you guys think of those?
One I really want to
Inserts.
pick up is one of the ones they showcased early on before this set came out was a King Felix Chillin'. I still need to get my hands on that. It's one of the best looking cards in the game. Now that we know that Print Run 4 featured and highlighted is 25 or less. So I'm assuming this cruise control, my hopes is maybe this is like a pop 10 as he is on the higher end. I really like him. I like him on the low end. We found out that the base heroes aren't very valuable because there's a ton of them out there, but they're still good looking cards. So hopefully, it takes next set to come around to where they start increasing in value again. But they're beautiful looking, in my opinion.
Excellent. Yeah, I think so too. I really like those. Slappy, what did you have next on our agenda? Where'd you want to go?
Actually, before we cruise away from it, speaking of cruise control, you like how I did that too, Anthony?
Well done.
Is that thank you, Seth. Is that I wanted to share a source of pride for. Let's see. Let's get this up.
We already saw the Bernie Williams card.
Yeah. So I want to share an early version of cruise control.
This is old school. This is old school.
And look at what's on the hood of the cruise control car is the Radish digital symbol.
Hold, I never noticed that, and I've seen that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yes, this was to many of us old school. Magma was just an unbelievable. That ended up being my favorite weapon. Magma was an early weapon, and of course we were Biohazard instead of Glow. But the Magma is like, I love the way it just to me it's better than fire, like the way it goes. But since Anthony's bringing up his cruise control, I figured I would share that too. All right, nice. So the next thing, let's see, it's 9:30. I think we could talk for hours about the SEG con sale, but before we get there, let's actually go to Anthony and talk about Tex. You want to ask him about what we talked about?
What did we talk about with Anthony?
His Monday show.
Oh, yes. You have a new show coming up, right?
I do. We just premiered it this past Monday. That's actually where we pulled our 1-of-1 King Tut Pink Hex. So kind of on a play off what we do here and what we do in the What's the Price. I've kind of did like a weekend highlight to kind of do an intro Monday afternoon. It's kind of a lunch break for everyone, where we kind of talk about any big cards that were pulled, any big cards that are currently on eBay, maybe do some pricing. And then we ended up with a hobby and a double mega power break, which people love. There's less than 30 spots on those, so you get great value there. And then when you pull a 1-of-1 on the very first one you do, I think that's just going to add to the hype. So this Monday, obviously, we're gonna talk about Scott's big pull, that 1-of-1. Scott, I'll let you know what I think of the value on that. And funny enough, when we did the show, there was 2 people that were watching live and whatnot that were owners of 2 of the cards that we talked about. So they were very curious of what I thought of the price. Kind of an easy segue to bring in, hey, if you guys have more cards, reach out to Scott. We have a show that goes over prices of full lots, maybe more than just one. And so I think it just works well with what we're trying to do here, and then kind of build upon just giving some really good interaction with the community and just kind of let them know what's going on. I mean, we talked about the SCG, the tournaments. I'm actually going to be in Columbia this weekend at the regional. And so we'll update people on what happened at the regional in Wisconsin, and then the regional that's happening in South Carolina this weekend. So it's a good way just to get your Monday morning cup of information for both.
For a second, I thought Anthony was going to say he was going to be a judge. And I'm actually going to be a
maybe one day.
Yeah. One thing, speaking of the cards and people reaching out to Anthony on the show, and by the way, that is Anthony, do you have the show already created on Whatnot?
Yes.
Okay, can you send it in private chat, and I'll post it here in the comments, so that way people can have it. They can bookmark that particular show. And just a reminder, all these guys, you can catch them on Whatnot. You've got Eric, Mr. Hop, Card Society. He's on Whatnot. Anthony, Cursive Breaks, Whatnot. And Seth, Mainly Breaks, also on Whatnot. I do want to share one thing. We shared it last week, but bring a little bit more attention. Actually, I was thinking I'm going to get a counter. And I'll cut down the clip. And this is actually not the best clip. Right? The last thing to get to, and I feel I needed to bring this up. We got to talk about this missing card. Is that this is a community member who ended up, their card was lost from grading to their house. Last it was seen was inside of a FedEx facility. So this card is being missed. This is actually Papa Sean 43. If folks comment in here, if you see this listed on eBay, in Facebook, in any group, this is a very unique card, right? This is the kid. Right. This is a Hex auto 7 of 10. So we know which card he had. So if you see this card, all right. So just want to put that out there. And if other well, it's like,
Oh, I thought you had an update. Maybe no update. It's still
no
MIA.
That's why I said I'm gonna have to put a
Right.
flip the day over day 15, like we're still looking for. But
Right,
one of-
right.
yeah, that's what we'll do. All right. So before we get to the SCG Con, because it'll dovetail nicely with the SCG Con sale, is that let's end up taking a look at the Radish price guide, the sealed guide. All right, Anthony, don't go on your computer and look. It's like, what do you guys think?
Wait, you're not going to cue the ape? You're not going to cue the ape?
I can in a second, but first I want to know with these guys what they're thinking without cheating is that, do you think anything, we're recording this is Good Morning Bo. We're talking about Bo Jackson Battle Arena. We're live every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we're recording this live on January 30th. The product has been drying up. It was like 2 o'clock either yesterday, the day before, and no sale had happened that day. And I was like, that's crazy that no sealed product. I mean, since the Griffey sets come out, we see just sales of sealed product happening, hourly. And it's now, you can go half a day without it. All right. So I'm curious what the panel thinks about what sold today. And then the other question is, what do you think a double mega last sale was at?
Ooh, so the question is, what do we think sold today and what's a double mega at? All right, I'm going to take a stab first. I'm going to say double mega last sale 145, and then I'm going to say what sold today. I'm going to say someone got antsy, missed the jumbo sale, and someone listed a jumbo and they bought the jumbo for 3,600. That's my guess. And I am not cheating. I'm just making.
Oh, those are great.
I did see that jumbo pop up. I think it was 35.50 was the price. It was up there yesterday. I saw it. I don't know if it's still there or not.
Hey, you're giving the answer before Anthony has a chance to go. If you know the answer, you wait till the end.
Oh. Well, I didn't know if that was the answer or not.
No, I mean, I was definitely going to say jumbo as well, because I think someone took a screenshot of one being on eBay. I don't remember what the price was, but I know few have sold for over 3,000. I wouldn't be surprised if someone posted one for 4,000 and somebody bid on that. Double mega, I'm a slightly under Seth on it. I don't know that it's broken 140 yet. I mean, I'm like 138, 139. It's definitely 135 plus. I don't know if we've broken the 140 yet. And it has to be a jumbo. There's 50 of them sold. And there's, I would say probably, is it rude to say half the people are probably going to look to flip that?
No. I mean, we need the product, so I hope people flip them. Like, what do you think we're buying this stuff, guys? We're buying them from you when you put it on eBay. So thank you.
All right. And what do you say, Eric?
I mean, I think the jumbo probably sold. That I didn't look to see completed sales.
But what do you think double mega's at right now?
130.
And what do you think? Has anything sold today on the January 30th when we're recording this?
I bet that jumbo box is gone. The 35.50.
All right. Well, we'll head to radishpriceguide.com.
Don't guess the price. Look up their value now at radishpriceguide.com.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Gorilla. Let's go take a look. All right. So that jumbo you guys are talking about, that actually sold last night. I was working late last night on something, and I checked the radishpriceguide.com, the sealed price guide all the time. I love to see where it's going. Q-Tex making fun of me because we do have a golden cross happening. You've got the Griffey double mega where the 30-day average is above the 90-day average and the last price is above those. That's true for the Griffey double mega. It's true for the Griffey hobby jumbo, and the Griffey blaster box has not gotten there yet. The 30-day average is $55.71. It's $56.65 for the 90-day, and somebody just got one for $50, which is pretty rare yesterday. Because that has been trending up. That's been pretty much hanging out around $56 to $59. But you guys are close. That 35.50 jumbo, it did sell last night. So it was close to.
Although there is another one listed on eBay right now for $35.50.
Same person?
That I'm not sure of. This is Dark Horse Memorabilia who is selling this one.
That's a fun name. Hey, Slappy, for the less intelligent folk on this panel, aka moi, what the hell's a Golden Cross?
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean,
Golden Cross.
This is great.
Golden Cross is it's a this is not financial advice. This is it's a technical trading term. It's a bullish signal. And it means when that price crosses over is that the more recent action is going higher above. You have a long-term trend. And when the short-term trend breaks out above the long-term trend, that's a bullish signal. So that's what's happening with the price of Griffey right now for the sealed.
Learn something every day.
Yeah.
That's
to know you were a finance major.
But they no, is that
it's
but the
Warren
Griffey
Buffett
double mega
Jr.
buck
over here.
is 135. 135 is the price. We have had a couple sales. Anthony, I can't remember if you said, like, I'm not sure it's gotten above 140, but there were, and it was interesting. A couple sales did go ahead. Of course, we talked about it in the Radish community. There was one where somebody said double mega, and they had a picture of 2 boxes, and it was around, that might have been 175. And I think that was priced, that was very deceptive, because 175 is much higher than what the price is, the floor was then, even the floor now. And by putting 2 boxes, it almost makes it look like you're getting a great deal for 2 boxes of 175. So we've seen a couple sales. There was a 149 sale, I'm pretty sure, that was in there. But that Griffey double mega, I just crossed over the 30-day over the 90-day this past week. All right, but it brings us back to the jumbo. Let's talk about that. Is that the SCG con sale? Let's all fess up. All right, Eric, did you go for it? And did you have any luck?
I did go for it. I had no luck. I had a meeting at 2:00. So I was, they were pounding me to get in the meeting while I'm in there trying to pound a jumbo box. And I did not.
Wait. That's
a lot of pounding.
Wait.
Pound, baby.
You act like
you're going to Pound Town. What's going on over there?
You act like this was something that took 20 minutes. Why would it literally was 15 seconds? You could have showed up for your meeting 15 seconds late. Like, nobody was pounding on anything. You were 15 seconds late for your meeting because that's how quickly it sold out.
But yeah, 15 seconds.
They wanted me in there.
Yeah.
All right. So what were you going for?
Late is late.
I went for a jumbo, of course. I wanted a jumbo. I actually thought I had one when I was checking out, and then I got an error for the checkout, and then my card got hacked about 10 minutes later. So that was like double painful, right? No jumbo, and then I have no more debit card because somebody pinned the number and bought something for $1,700. So I don't know, maybe somebody got my card and bought a jumbo on themselves.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that was a fun day.
All right.
Yikes.
Anthony.
So yeah, I was planning on going for hobby boxes, and then an hour before I got one of those special text messages that I got a coupon for a jumbo. So as 2:00 hit, we're all here hitting F5. I noticed that hobby loaded a second before the jumbos did. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can grab 2 hobbies real quick. Let's see if I'm quick enough. So I grabbed 2 hobbies, and then it was almost like 20, 30 seconds later.
Wait, hold on. Can I ask you why you only got 2 hobby and not 3? Because the limit was
I'm not a selfish guy.
Okay.
Oh.
And then the jumbos populated.
Oh, that's a shot.
So what I did to try to save some seconds, I had the cart on one screen, and then I had the page to where you add it to the cart, so I could add to the cart and then refresh and save myself 2 clicks to get to the cart. So I think that helped me. I put my coupon code in. I was able to get a jumbo. Again, not a selfish guy. I only grabbed only one jumbo, but I did get the discount.
Working smarter, not harder.
Upstairs, my wife was able to grab 3 hobbies for herself.
Hold on. You got a jumbo and 3 hobbies? I love it.
Well, I got
he got a jumbo and 5 hobbies.
5 hobbies.
Way to go.
Wait,
well, that explains why I ain't get dick.
My wife was like, I'm the max limit.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, I wish this was a professional studio and we could rewind the part where he says, I'm not a selfish guy. So what did he get again?
I'm not a selfish guy. I only got 5.
Just The retick about Brady
Six.
getting everything continues, Anthony.
Well, yeah.
Thank you for that.
You know, well, one. The jumbo is not going to be broken. I will promise you.
Yeah,
that.
the
Like,
ship
the
already
jumbo
sailed.
honestly.
You're not cleaning this up.
So Anthony,
We all know
Anthony-
you're selfish. Cats out of the
there's-
bag.
There's over 100,000 people going for this product, and Anthony scooped up 2.3% of all product available just for himself.
It's good to be the king.
Gotta be smarter.
Yeah.
Gotta have
Work
multiple
smarter,
windows
not
up.
harder.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
All
All right,
right.
so what'd you get?
Man.
Congratulations, Anthony. And by the way, Seth, the first question is, what did you make of that word he used? This, how do you say COUPON, Seth?
Coupon?
Ugh, all
do you
right,
say it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Coupon.
Q?
Yeah, thank you, Tex.
Is it Q?
Coupon.
It's
Yeah.
coupon.
This a regional thing?
How did I say it? I
You
think
said
I
A
was
region,
wrong.
regional to America.
Is it Taylor ham or pork roll? What's going on? What are we talking about here?
Oh, I see. I think it can be either Taylor ham or pork roll. It's the
Only-
same thing. I think it
Taylor
can
ham.
be. That's interchangeable to me.
Fair.
And I don't
So-
think anyone else here knows what we're talking about.
I know.
Hey, and by the way, Pegasus saying that I got five hobby boxes around 1:20 p.m. Central Time, and he said
What?
that was
Shame,
That was
shame,
three-
shame.
3 separate orders. But then he also said they canceled 2 of them, as Frenchie mentioned would happen on Free
Oh.
Hobby State. And again, one of the things that makes Bow Battle so different than other companies, Big Cardboard, they would cancel everything. They wouldn't take the time to be like, well, let's see how much Seth got. Okay, well, we said he could get this much. We're just gonna knock this. Like, they knock you down to what you were supposed to be able to get. And by the way, we've all been there. I'm not knocking Pegasus. Like, if you've got the opportunity, if the limit's 3, it seems like you can keep ordering like Tex does. Just keep going back in, and each order is 3. All right, Seth, how did you do, and what were you going for?
Going for hobbies only because I use those in the breaks. And I got Nada initially, so I was in there and I was told, like I told Quick, it was Quick's first time doing, like, Quick, you got to preload all your information, get your credit card, get it ready, get it going. And I had moved since the last sale, and I forgot to change my address. So we're doing it. I'm like, crap. And I'm trying to change my address really quick. And I didn't get anything. But then I'm hanging out in the Discord and watching everyone bitch and moan as they do after the sale. And 4,000 people come out of the woodwork that we typically don't hear from, which is fine. And then someone had posted 20 minutes later, go back in because there's some available. I went back in, went for 2, didn't get any, moved it down to 1, and I got 1. So I got
Wow.
1 hobby box. 20 minutes
Nice.
after it started.
Man. Snappy, what did you get?
So we had just hit the 101 on the stream. I just hit the Bernie, and you and I were getting off Radish Break Room because the sale was starting in 6 minutes. And even though you and Jen gave me crap for disappearing on you, I'm like, I got to get this computer rebooted. And I did not get a text code, and I went for 2 jumbo. And I made a mistake. You know, we prepped everybody. We talked about this week in Bo Jackson Battle Arena. We talked about in Radish Break Room. We just stressed to folks. Again, 90% of the product goes out in a normal fashion. So people are like, I can't get it. This is why I hate Big Cardboard. It's like this. Big Cardboard takes all their exclusive product, and they do it this way. Bo Jackson Battle Arena takes 95% of their product and does it in an organized way where you can get it. There was one guy talking about he saw 24 blasters and 3 dicks yesterday. There is still boba
Take
product.
sporting goods.
And there's double megas that were available. There were hobbies you could pre-order. So I think it's important we talk about this. I love the chase. I love the adrenaline rush. I love doing this. I mean, it's so much fun to get it because 98% of the time you're not going to get it. That's what makes it fun. That's why gambling's fun. But for me is that I made a mistake when I went in. I was like, I think they changed their checkout a little bit. I don't remember Google Pay being an option. I saw Google Pay and Venmo, and I have both. And I'm like, oh, what's going to be the quickest? I'm like, clicked on Google Pay. And then it brought it up. And so crap in my Google Pay, because my wife's active duty and we move every 2 years, I have like 8 addresses in there. First one that came up was an old address in Germany, like U.S. Post Office in Germany. I'm like, well, that's not good. I'm never getting that. If it goes into the U.S. Army's mail system in Europe, I will never see those boxes again. In America, I can reach out to the person who lives in the house that I used to live in. But so I'm scrolling down, going through all these addresses. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? I get down, and it's the very last one, which they probably just keep adding them on. And I switched it to my address, and then I hit OK. And Tex and I were talking about this. It didn't process. It just takes you to the checkout screen where I had a credit card saved. So completely worthless step. And I'm like, when it went to the checkout screen, I'm like, it's erroring out. I didn't get it. And so it's just showing me this because it's invalid or something. But no, it's just an unnecessary step. And so then I have to hit checkout again. And I thought, there's no way I'm getting it at this point. And I click, and I was fortunate to spend $5,600. I'm so lucky to do that. So I will say I'm hoping the price of hobby boxes go up, because I am going to have to sell some of my hobby boxes now to pay for the 2 jumbos. But one of them, I have an alpha jumbo, I have an alpha update jumbo, and now I have the other one. And what I'm excited about is Frenchie has said there will be no jumbos in Tecmo. But if you listen to the Radish interview with Jeff at the end of the year, he really lays a foundation for never having jumbos again. So I hesitated because I'm not a whale. Like, that's a lot of money, and I have to sell stuff to account for it. But I looked at it and I'm just like, it's possible there'll never be enough. If this is the last jumbo and they really juiced it with this stuff at the end, and regardless, like, all the jumbos will go up. But like, if these truly are the only jumbos in the Bo Battle set, I mean, it's insane what's going to happen to them. What about you, Ted?
I got in there. I threw 2 jumbos in my cart. I went to checkout. Everything was moving smooth. And then I got the error message that Eric got. And that was it. I got bupkis.
So I did go before, and I bought some, I think, like Star Wars TCG packs just to like test the process, like how quick I was.
Yeah.
So it was like a $3 pack of something. And I went and threw it a couple times to make sure it felt like I knew where to click on the screen.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So Tex, I want to ask everybody it's crazy. In the discussion we were having, I kept asking people, if you get a code, are you going to use it? And the fact that you can even ask that, it's $1,000 off. Like, who doesn't need to save $1,000? But it's funny. I asked the question because, I often say with things like this, your heart thinks one thing and your head thinks another thing. And my emotions say I want to save $1,000. My head was asking that question because I honestly thought you wouldn't have time. So, Seth, I mean, what do you think in terms of, it was less than 50, but let's call it 50, right? They use that number, so it's probably 49 or 45 or whatever. But of the 50 jumbo boxes, how many do you think had used a coupon or a coupon, and you're a part of it?
Or the coupon? I have no idea. But so how many? Do we know how many codes went out?
They said 70, I believe.
70 go out, and let's just say 10% worked. I'm just pulling that number out of where. So I'm gonna have to say, like, I don't know, 7 or 8, because people are gonna buy them essentially like you at any price if they have. It's a lot of money. So if they had the ammo to do so, they were gonna buy it. And I didn't even go for it, for that reason. So I'm like, it's a lot of money to drop right now.
All right. So you think 6, 7, 7, 8? Okay,
7, 8, that's my guess.
Eric,
6, 7.
What is that meme? I don't even know.
What
Doesn't mean anything. That's the point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, Seth, but Seth,
You
that
had kids, you would know.
I'm familiar with, but I don't know
what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't mean
It's
anything.
it's from a song.
Oh, okay.
All right, Eric, what do you think? How many people use that out of the 50? How many sold with $1,000 off coupons?
Including the person who stole my debit card number and used the coupon and bought a jumbo box with that one. I would say 50%. I would think most people use them.
Yeah.
All right, you think they had the time to do it, could figure out the checkout process, and about 50%. All right, and then Anthony, what do you think? And we've got 6, 7, so we're talking about 12. He or 7, 8. He's saying 15% roughly. Eric's saying 50%, 15 and 50. And where do you come in?
From feedback I've gotten, there was quite a few people that didn't care if they had the coupon or not. They were buying jumbos. So I know quite a few people that got 2 jumbos full price. I'm probably closer to Seth on that, maybe 10, 15%.
Wow. All right.
I think people were willing, like you said, if these are the last jumbos ever printed, one, that these jumbos were super hard to get in the first place. I think they're pretty priceless, especially for collectors that are going to throw it in their closet and keep it sealed.
Well, and Anthony, thanks for bringing that up. We didn't mention that. Is that the Griffey jumbos were much reduced from alpha and update. So not only were jumbos rare to begin with, but this Griffey set were more rare than alpha and update. So yes, very, very, very scarce. Tex, what did you guess?
I guessed 5% used the coupon.
Okay. So that 5%, you're talking 2 to 3 people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked a little earlier and I gave my guess, so I'm not going to change my guess, even though I know what the real answer is. But yeah, I mean, at the time, I just thought, people are just rushing in there. Even if you have the code, it's $1,000. But do you take, those couple extra seconds to try and get the code in and risk, the jumbo, or do you just bite the bullet and just buy it and say, screw it? So I figured, with there only being 70 codes available, only 50 boxes, that most of the people that got in there quick probably wouldn't even have a code. And so I figured, a small amount of code would be used.
Well, I will say, and by the way, I don't have the, we don't have the answer. My guess was, when I was talking to Tex, I think it's 20 to 30%. I know it's less than half, 50%. And I guess 20 to 30%. I think there are a lot of people who don't understand how fast you have to move. And so they were going to use it. They were putting in the code. So I think, if you think there are 70 people, so 30% of 50 is 15. If there's 70 people using the code, do I think 15 people actually were successful? Yeah, I actually think that's about a 20% success rate of people with codes trying to use it. So I think 1 out of every 5 person who's punching in a code probably got lucky and was able to get that code. But I think the bigger implications for the market on the jumbos, it'll be interesting to see where they go. Before this sale, we saw one jumbo sell for $3,500. And now that, one sale on eBay doesn't make a market. But when you see 50 jumbos sell at $2,800, and I think we all agree it's over half, is that sold at the $2,800 price, it does a couple things. One is it's market affirmation. Like, these are worth a lot. They're clearly worth more than $2,800 because they sold out instantly at $2,800. So they're worth much more than that. And what's interesting is, say 10 to 15 people bought it at the $1,800 price. They are not selling it at $2,500 because they know the other 3/4 of the people bought it at $2,800. And so they're not going to lose money selling a jumbo. And let's talk about, Anthony, you were saying that people are going to put it away in the closet. Yes, there were definitely flippers involved in there, but there were a lot of people who are actually just getting it to break, to put away in a closet. So the actual people who are selling is this, to me, is absolutely going to be a huge price mover. Like, you would think 50 jumbos flooding at the same price would cause the market to kind of stagnate or maybe stabilize here for a little while. I think the opposite's going to happen. I think $150,000 in 5 seconds first. And by the way, this is not Bo Battle. They don't make any money off this. This is Star City Games. They got their product late. They are allowed. There was no MSRP. They were allowed to price it where they wanted. They did give the community a little bit of a break, right? They priced it at $2,800 instead of $3,500, and we shouldn't shame them for that. That's $700 lower without the code. And then if you had the code, that's $1,700 lower. But 3,000 times 50 is 150,000 that they just sold in 15 seconds. That is a huge price momentum. So I know we're getting close to wrap up, Tex, and we're going to hear where what these guys are doing for the week. But I'm curious where people see the price of jumbos short term, and say, how about right before Tecmo comes out and in a year?
I think one of the things you have to take into consideration quick, though, is that all the people that got boxes and stuff, you said, they're not going to have these boxes physically in hand for, probably till close to the midweek next week, end of next week. So how does that affect the market in the meantime?
That's a great point.
Are a lot of these going to get put up, even though they're not actually in hand on eBay? And, it's going to be interesting to see. Or maybe, who knows, maybe very, very few of them will end up on eBay. But nobody's, it's going to be at least a week to, probably before anybody actually has them in hand.
Yeah, and actually, and Tech, Anthony, finish your comment, and then if you can respond to Pegasus, he kind of lines up the question better. What were you going to say, Anthony?
So I think, one, I don't think people have an issue throwing things on eBay or listing it before they have it. We know that with just the way that the pre-bundle was handled. But the fact that there was only 50, we've only seen 2 for sale, 1 that sold, 1 that's still on eBay right now. I don't think we see a ton more of these. I mean, maybe we do, and someone throws one up for like 5K plus, but I don't think we see a lot of them get listed.
Yeah, I don't either. Do we think that 3,500 is kind of the basement on these things right now? Is like, are we going to look at this in a couple weeks and be like, I would have bought 10 of them at 3,500. Now they're $5,000.
Yeah, I do. I think in terms of price, where it's going to be before the National, crystal ball, I would say somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000. So I know a lot of people are looking for jumbos. You guys have ripped some. They're 9 times out of 10, they're crazy juiced. And even if at $3,000, I mean, it's not a bad gamble because there's been some really wonderful hits coming out of jumbos. And I had a handful of jumbos that I had got, and I had one, and someone else, another breaker, reached out to me. They offered me more than $3,000 for it, and I didn't accept it. And anyway, so yeah, and I just think they want the product and they're looking for the product. And Anthony, like you said, other breakers and people who have it. I mean, they're not getting it to flip; they're getting it to either rip or use.
Yeah.
Well, and we still have Anthony. Did you answer Pegasus' question? I don't think you gave us a price before National. Did you actually?
So before Nationals, I would agree. I think it gets to 45.5. I think Seth kind of hit it on the nail there. And I do know there are a handful of breakers who did get jumbos. I don't know if they're going to break them when they get them, if they're going to put them on a show or not. I did promise I wouldn't, so it's going to be hard to do. But I think the wife's going to want to personal rip that one, and I think it'll be fun for the family to do.
Nice.
That's awesome. Hey, Eric, before National.
Yeah, it'll be over 4. I do think we'll see more pop up. I think there's people holding them back and are not selling because they know the price will go up and they don't want to put them up at a too high of a price. I think there's some hobby shops too that got allocation of jumbos that have not even put them out for sale yet. So I think we'll start seeing a few more trickle out over the next few months. And then I definitely think some of those people that grab them from Star City will be putting them on eBay too at a nice $4,000, $4,500 price point.
That's a good point. There's a 90-day hold for card shops to be able to post stuff on eBay. I think that was last set. I would assume it's still this set. So we have 1 more month before we start seeing card shops throwing up what they may be holding on to.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll save my pennies for that time.
Yeah, really. Yeah. By then they will be $5,000.
Yeah.
Oh, Snappy, did we get through everything you wanted to get through today? Oh.
Well, Slappy.
Oh, Snappy's having some technical errors.
He's buying jumbo boxes.
Let's yeah, really. Yeah, he's on eBay right now. Eric, when is your next show? What do you have coming up?
Tomorrow morning single show, Saturday morning heat. Got some fun ones. Yeah, it'll be a good time. And then I'll do another break next Thursday. We did one yesterday. It was fun. I did a little free power break. It was a double power break. A couple of the spots accidentally got split up, but it was 15 spots. Each spot was supposed to have 2 power levels in it. So like you would get 75 and 200. And so while we were filling the main break, I was doing buyers giveaways for that break. So we had 20 buyers giveaways during the break. So it was like 1 in 5 people were getting free spots in that break. And there was a couple nice hits out of the free break too. So it was a good time. It was fun. I enjoyed doing that. I think I'll probably keep that going So while you're filling the break, a little side quest of getting into a free power break.
It's awesome. Very cool. Any Phoenix cards I might need for my help complete my rainbow that you might have coming up tomorrow?
No Phoenix in there. I have some alpha and some alpha update, but no Phoenix. Unfortunately, I hate what happened to him too. I think Denver would be in the Super Bowl if he didn't get hurt.
I agree. I think if things had worked out a little better with the officiating, I think it would be a Denver. I think Buffalo and Denver. It would have been a really nice matchup to see Buffalo play Denver. But anyway, or did they play?
Yeah.
Wow.
Appreciate you, Quick. Love you, brother. Thanks for always being there to support.
Yeah, Quick's a good guy. Seth, what do you have coming up this week?
This week, I have the old Sunday Eve show. I think we started doing a little bit later, so we're moved to just after 6:30. We did that time last week and seemed to go pretty well. But my big show is going to be Super Bowl. I'm like, all right. I was like, should I compete with the Super Bowl? So yes. Well, just think of me as a second screen, baby, because we're going to do Alpha Booster. We're going to do Update Booster. We're going to do Griffey Hobby Booster, or excuse me, Mega and Blasters. And it's going to be a power break. So few spots with some juicy chasers. It'll be fun. And I'm going to give away packs the whole time. So you guys come hang out. We're going to give away packs.
Yeah. Make sure you bookmark those shows.
Bookmark it.
For sure. Anthony, what's going on with you breaking this week?
So we got a big one Sunday. If I miss my layover though today, I'll probably be at Eric's for a single show in the morning. My layover's in Atlanta. I got 45 minutes, so I gotta run to my next plane. But Sunday, I fly back from Columbia Sunday morning. Sunday at 3 p.m. we're gonna do a huge charity break. So my wife started a new job. She's working for a nonprofit that helps a lot of youth in the area. And so we're going to do 6 hobby boxes. Thankful to the SCG allocation, we're able to have 6 hobby boxes that we're going to break. It'll be randomized. Maybe we'll do some cool chasers. But all proceeds, even the product at cost, is going to be donated. It is called Youth for Christ for the Cleveland area. And all proceeds will be going there on donated on her behalf. So from her to the company. And so that'll be pretty cool. First time doing something like that.
And when is that show again?
That is going to be this Sunday at 3 p.m.
This Sunday. Okay. Excellent. And that shows up on your Whatnot page, ready to be bookmarked, I assume?
As well.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Slappy, are you back among the living here? What's going on?
Tex, you really got to read the private chat. You really got to read the private chat in the background.
Oh, fine.
I didn't
but actually, thanks for helping the producer out while I'm actually producing in the background. But thanks for bringing it back to me. Hey, Anthony, and Seth, I know Eric, we haven't had him on What's It Worth, but the 3rd episode of What's It Worth it's premiering right now at 10 o'clock, also on Radish. You can catch it right now. So when folks are done with this, make sure you go and take a look. It's kind of an interesting collection. There's a lot of cards. I think the lowest card was an $10 card. But we have a card that's worth over $2,000, but 90% of this collection is what everybody has in their collection. So I think people are really going to like taking a look at the cards that are in your collection and what they're worth. But Seth, is that you have, I think you're going to, we haven't talked about it, and I was going to message you, but might as well talk about it right here. You're going to, what's the timeline for the What's It Worth that is going to premiere with Mainly Breaks? And when we look to see that?
I'm going to edit it this weekend. So hopefully we'll have it early next week. Get it out to you, because the one of that I have, it's a big file. So it's like almost an hour long, and it just needs a little bit more extra love and attention to edit that bad boy. And I got to be honest, Slappy, I freaking hate editing. It's so time consuming. But I'm going to do it, and it'll be a great end product for sure.
Well, you've got to, I think what you got to do, Seth, is you got to start using DaVinci. That'll help you. It's fun. Actually, once you get really good at it, it can be fun.
All right. That's good.
All right.
Point taken.
All right.
Final cut is
Well-
really nice too.
All right. Well, listen, Tex, what do you want to wrap it up for us here?
Yeah, this has been Good Morning Bo with Anthony from Cursive Breaks, Seth from Mainly Breaks, and Eric from the Card Society. It was a great show, guys. Thanks for everything. Slappy, hell of a job as always. And tune in to What It's Worth, premiering right now on Radish YouTube's channel. And we'll see everybody next week.
Thanks, everyone.
The Crest out. Alrighty.
All right,
Is everybody
take
still
care.
here?
Take care, everyone.